talk about our first match here, which is Legorve Genine versus Paratroopa, real quick. Um, we'll start with Paratroopa, who's had a pretty good season, all things considered. Really, his only losses have come to players who are above him in the standings. All his wins have come against players below, and he's had no ties. So really, it's a pretty much exactly where he should be in the standings. I think at currently at fifth.
Yeah, and Paratroopa has shown a lot of consistency this season, as you mentioned, and has shown a lot of close matches, even the matches where they weren't winning. And so I think Paratroopa is certainly well equipped to take on Legorve in this match. But Legorve, no slouch here in the division by any means.
No, anything but a slouch, really. Legorov is his only blemish so far is a tie against Manathers. And really, that adds additional stakes to this match because Manathers is already done with his season. He has already gone undefeated with only the draw against Legorv, uh, preventing him from having an undefeated season himself or a perfect season, excuse me, himself. So Legorv needs a win here, not only to lock in the undefeated season, but also to outright win the division.
Yeah, it's just amazing to look at this division and say if someone went, for example, 10 wins and 2 draws, they would not win the division just because of that extremely strong performance from Manatters. So Legorv, it has to be a win if they want to take first place.
Yeah, but Manathers, if they win, will win, I think, on the third tiebreaker, or excuse me, Legorov will win on the third tiebreaker against Manathers, which is last season standings. So Manathers, in theory, if Legorov wins here, could go 11-0-1 and still not win the division.
Yeah, I mean, when the one person you draw against has the potential of also going 11-0-1, that just speaks to the skill of those two players and really the extremely marginal differences that have to make up the difference between them.
All right, well, let's go into the picks and bans here for this. And I think this will be really interesting to see because obviously a lot rides on this match. So starting off, Legorov banned Gallery, Paratroopa banned Redwoods, Legorv restricted high rise, and Paratroopa declined the restriction. Legorv doubled ballroom, Paratroopa doubled Tayen, Legorv singled library, and Paratroopa singled high rise. What are your thoughts on that?
So I think the both of the bans from these players seem very much in line with what they've done before. So I don't think there's anything too shocking there. The decline to restrict here from Paratroopa might be surprising. We just think, well, why are you giving up that resource in the draft? But Paratroopa actually is really not taking the restricts all season, not wanting to play into that mind game, not wanting to give their opponent any information for what they can do. And we see here Paratroopa picking Legorv's restrict here. The ballroom pick here from Legorv makes a lot of sense. Legorv has played ballroom a lot. They have very strong results on it. Paratroopa, though, also a pretty good performer on ballroom and no stranger to it. He's picked it quite a bit this season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think in general, these are really just comfort picks for both players. Um, they both played all these venues quite a bit. They're comfortable in all of them. So really, this is just going to be a matchup of comfort and skill all the way around.
I think that's absolutely right. I think it's perhaps surprising, at least to me a little bit, that we found two players, both of whom have actually played a lot of Tayen. This double here from Paratroopa is very much in line with what they've done in the past, and something you probably don't see, I think, from a lot of the matches so far in this season. Tayen has kind of fallen by the wayside.
I think that's true. And it kind of is a bit of an outlier here. Although between Taeyeon and High Rise, you can clearly see the preferences of Paratroopa coming through in their picks. Whereas Ballroom and Library are maybe a bit bigger, a bit less occlusion, and a bit more of the quote unquote traditional spy party scene. So let's see what these players have for us here. I think starting off on Ballroom.
All right. Well, we do have Ballroom here. It will be Paratroopa playing on the spy side as general. We can get right into it here in three, two, one, playing.
All right.
We
So
quickly
Paratroopa
bounce.
starting off. Yeah, we bounce away from the ambassador. We had the drink in the hand, unfortunately, so we couldn't really take that chaos bug even if we wanted to. And we're just gonna go into a window pad here to wait things out and finish this drink off.
Yeah, Paratroopa wanting to be very respectful here, probably of Legorv's sniper. Legorv, a very strong player, but especially on the sniper side. So we're going to be looking for opportunities to sneak one by as we step into this conversation. We're going to pick up a flirt, not right next to our seduction target, so we'll be agreeing for 46%. We're committed to the 3 flirt, but standing here in this conversation far away from red dress means we're not going to be in any danger of being paired at this point.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that we managed to force our way into this conversation where we did. Um, we got him without any difficulties, but it looked a little bit awkward, and I'm sure Legorve probably took notice of the sort of, well, for lack of a better word, the jamming in that we did there. But nonetheless, we're still okay for now. As you said, 46%. We're just going to take an innocent drink here instead of doing some sort of purloin, and we're just going to scope things out and hope to keep our pace up here. Looks like we're going to go finish our flirt instead.
Yeah, I like this from Paratroopa. Getting Flirt out of the way, continuing to make constant progress on it, means that we open up options for ourselves at the end of the game. We don't have to worry about making sure we chase down our Flirt and spend another 20, 30 seconds doing it. That's a white test up to 80%. Almost any third Flirt will do here. And we're looking around. Ambassador has left some prints there over by the bookcase, but Legorve, I think, is probably going to be all over that unless we let those prints cook for quite some time. We can't go for it just yet.
Yeah, ballroom is definitely one of those venues where it's maybe deceptively difficult to get that third or maybe fourth mission done. Um, it feels like there are a lot of opportunities for bugs, but actually setting up that proper bug and finding it can be a lot more difficult than maybe it seems. Um, and then inspects, of course, are always dangerous. Fingerprints can be dangerous against the right sniper. So really, it's just a matter of picking what you want to do and then hoping that you get a good one through whatever that mission is.
Well, there was a bug entering into that conversation. We pick up the highlight for it. It's a cool bug because we have the drink in our left hand. We have to go for a wrong arm there. It
Banana
looks like
bread.
Legorb actually all on top of that entry. Here comes the banana bread after that bug. We've already been highlight for the bug, and now some lowlights will come off, but not too many. The bug is, the contact is pretty good. And we finish our flirt. All of a sudden, we have 3 missions done, a minute left to play. But that highlight tells an entire story here. Legorv, I think, has a huge amount of suspicion on us for that conversation entry, for that bug. We haven't shot yet, but I suspect if we try to do anything else here, we're going to be at real risk of taking a bullet.
Yeah, I think Legorve has a really strong mission count on us right now. We've been pretty obvious with our motions here and there. Uh, we're certainly credited with having flirt done. We take a green purloin, though. Here's the real test. Legorve has to be on top of this purloin chain, and as soon as the list is taken, that's going to be the tell.
List is taken. It's a low light that takes it. And the shot immediately coming off from Legorv. Totally on top of our mission count there. No hesitation as soon as the list is taken. We're a highlight when we do our purloin reject. That's definitely noticed in the purloin chain. And Legorv picks up the first win here on the sniper side.
Yeah, really nice bug, though. I'm kind of surprised it took, to be honest, just based on the situation and but the hand was so visible. Look at that.
Yeah, it absolutely was. The snapback coming into conversation, extremely visible, even though it's the wrong arm and it's maybe not the arm close to the ambassador. If anything, that simply means the arm is more visible because it's not intersecting the ambassador's character model. And Legorv on the sniper side has a perfect view of it.
Yeah, too bad. As I said, that was a really nifty bug, and in other situations, with a slightly better angle, that would have been nearly invisible. But unfortunately, Legorv saw it. I think the only reason he didn't shoot for it right there was, again, the mission count and not needing to shoot, knowing that he didn't need to shoot right then and there.
All right, well, with that game in the books, we're ready now to start our second one now with Legorv on the spy side as queen in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, Legorv's sniper is definitely known for his sniper play, I think. But certainly, especially with the amount of games that Legorv has played, his spy is certainly no slouch either. Um, and having played against Legorv plenty, I can tell you that he does stuff as spy quite a bit as well.
Yeah, Paratroopa's gonna have to work for this. We enter conversation far away from our seduction target. Both of these players being very respectful on their first flirt. We pick up a green test here, and it's a green for only 28%. One of the lowest green test flirts you can get in the game. And we're looking around, there's not a lot of opportunities for us. The double agent's out of conversation, the ambassador is in a very safe position, and so we could try to stay here in this conversation and timer flirt, but this is a really rough timer flirt for us considering how far away we are from our ST.
Yeah, this is a situation where maybe it wouldn't hurt to just go to a window pad, idle for a second, then come back for a better flirt position. We go for a little nifty bug there a couple times over the briefcase. Neither of them take, but I don't think it was seen. I think we're okay.
Yeah, that was definitely a little bit of an aspirational bug, but with so much cover behind the conversation, as you say, we aren't really in a position where you'd expect a bug from the spy there. And if you're not expecting the bug, you're not watching it as hard, and we get away with that arm animation, it looks like, without any real suspicion accruing on us from Paratroopa.
No, that was a nifty little play there. And if it had taken, that would have been a sick bug. Unfortunately, it doesn't, but we still have plenty of time here. We're in the conversation with our double agent, and I think we're in pretty good shape here as long as Legorov can find more things. We have the ambassador next to us too to set up for a bug on that as well. Maybe even coming out of this banana bread if we decide to take it.
Yeah, we could go for this
Banana
banana bread and
bread.
just try to scooch over a little bit and go for a bug. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We just take a couple steps to the side. We go for the bug right after the banana bread comes off. And we're probably not expecting that here. Again, as Paratroopa, a lot of the bug guarding has to do with who you think is going to bug and when you think they're going to bug. No one in range after that banana bread. Sniper maybe not looking exactly at the ambassador. And we get that bug off. Now we're requesting a drink. All of a sudden, the missions are starting to add up. That's 2 missions done. Toby's coming over here, taking a bit of a difficult path to get to us, though. Are we going to be able to find some kind of purloin here? But no, the drink request is canceled and Wheels takes. Toby's walking away. No purloin for us. Minute 15 to go. We still have to finish our flirts. Now we request a drink again, still looking for this purloin. As Mom takes right there, it's going to be a difficult purloin to find, I think.
I think so too. I wouldn't like taking it here as well, especially with how visible it's been. And we choose not to. We just walk away. We have to finish our flirt there. We're down to a minute left. We only have 28% on our flirt done. So Legorve either has to rush down 2 missions, rush down flirts, or get somebody else shot here.
Rushing down flirt here is going to be extremely challenging. Our seduction target is just leaving paintings. We're going to need, I think, at least 1 green here. Finish flirt. And look, we are chasing our seduction target to blue books here. Let's see what we get on this flirt. This is going to determine the rest of our strategy. It's a white test. 62%. Legorve now has to bet on a green if they want to have even a chance of finishing flirt. And we still need 1 more mission. 30 seconds now. We're taking this book. We could try to go just hard transfer it immediately. But no, we're just sitting in this conversation with the book.
No, we're at the point now. Ooh, that was a really quick lead. I think we're at the point now where if we're planning to finish, we need to time add. But no, we're just going to slam this book instead. We jam ourselves into 3F bookshelf. Wee woo, wee woo. We put the book back down to 7 seconds. We have to time it. We're down to 5 seconds. Here we go. We go to the window pad. We're going to check our watch. It's a white test. 45 seconds added. Immediately, the laser swings over and highlights us. We're in big trouble.
Yeah, we take an innocent drink. Paratroopa obviously expecting the purloin there. We're down to 35 seconds now. I think the time added is extremely suspected. We were the only one at Windows. The immediate flick from Paratroopa highlighting us says we are really sure what's going on here. And look at this laser burn. Just telling Legorve, okay, you know what? You got 22 seconds. You can do whatever you want. But if you go anywhere near a mission site, you're going to get shot.
Yeah, at this point, our only way of finishing is going to be flirting with green dress, I think. And that's what we're going to try and do. But we're going to center statues to do it.
No!
No. Oh, no. We try and get onto the same pad instead of going to the very suspicious center statues to pick up the cheeky flirt and leave without being suspicious for getting missions done at statues. But we stutter into it a couple times, and Paratroopa just staring us down seats it the whole way.
Yeah, joining the same statue pad as your seduction target, or any other character for that matter, can seem very AI-like, but only if you can get a clean entry. If the other character on the pad is taking up too much room, it can be very difficult to force your way onto the pad. And if AI is moving onto that pad, they're not going to stutter around like that. If we'd gotten the clean entry there, I'm sure we're still dead given the suspicion from the time ad. But Legorve probably judging that a flirt from the center statue pad would not have gotten enough percent to complete, is forced to try to make their way onto that statue pad, and in doing so, gives himself up. I think we were probably dead either way, though, as soon as we visit any mission site.
No, I think you're probably correct. Maybe if we get a clean entry there and leave immediately and make it clear that we aren't picking up a statue, there's a chance that Para lets it go. But I think we would have ticked down into overtime there anyway. So, yeah, I think you're right. Either way, Legorve is dead there.
All right. So with that, the snipers split it, and Paratroopa is back on the spy side here as Disney, looking for this first spy win so far in the set. Let's see what he can make of it. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, so 1-1 here. Good showing from both players. Strong sniping play on both sides. We're standing here in the conversation. We're just going to talk innocently, and the ambassador is right next to us. It's really, really tempting to leave this conversation circle and bug, but the ambassador is in such a vulnerable position that I bet Legorve is watching it very, very carefully here, and Paratroopa must know that.
Yeah, the big hands here in Disney is going to make that bug animation really hard to get away with. There's not really enough cover from the pillar there. We take a drink and then take the bug path to make it really clear that we can't possibly have bug there. And we go join our seduction target here in conversation. It's a little bit of a close entry, and our seduction target leaves us for our rudeness of forcing our way in there. No flirt for us. 2 minutes 50, we have a drink in our hand, but no mission progress now. The ambassador, though, in a slightly more vulnerable position than they were before, but we still can't get that bug with this drink in our hand, so we're kind of stuck in this conversation for now.
I mean, I know certain players, especially OP Right, who just say, just do a wrong arm bug here on the way through. But, yeah, that's a tough play to make, and given the sniper angle, it's really, really tough to do that, especially as Disney, and getting that through. I think the play here and what Paratroopa is planning is waiting for red dress to land somewhere. But no, we're going to go stand next to the ambassador as well as the double agent. Maybe the plan is to do a banana bread bug play, kind of like what Legorve did in that last game.
Well, here's the banana bread.
Banana
It's
bread.
certainly on the table. There's the contact, and look, Legorve is just staring down the ambassador, not going for any lowlights here. Just waiting, 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 waiting. Now we go for the lowlights. And there's the bug while we're going for the lowlights. Paratroopa waits and waits and waits, and just as the laser swings around to pick up a couple of lowlights, that's the exact instant Paratroopa goes for the bug, and I don't think that bug was seen.
I don't think it was seen, but I bet it was credited. Just based on the positioning and how suspicious Legorve was that the banana bread bug was the play, I would bet that Legorve has in his mind that Disney is credited with a bug right now for the mission count.
Well, we're back here with our seduction target. We have 2 missions done and a minute and a half to go. There's our flirt up to 34%. So still a lot of flirt to get done, and we still need to find one more mission. And it looks like Paratroop is heading over towards center statues here to finish off Inspecs.
Yeah, but we've been so active too. We've been zipping around this party quite a bit, and I mean, obviously I'm biased having seen the green arrow, but it feels like we've been very, very visible thus far, especially standing next to the ambassador multiple times and taking that path earlier. Um, if we are credited with a bug, we're in big trouble, and I bet that we get shot even just for talking next to red dress here. But let's see what the end result is.
It's a quick talk in this conversation, but there's only 2 people in it, so the quick talk's not quite as suspicious. It's another white test for 67%. We need one more flirt, and we got 50 seconds to get it here. But you are correct. It does look like the laser is being sure to give us plenty of attention.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, we can timer flirt this if red dress is polite enough to stay and hang out. But even so, there might be a little bit of overtime if we do that. Um, I don't really like any of our options right now, to be honest. If we walk away and then come back, that's really, really obvious. If we stay up, a red dress decides the issue for us by walking away and joining another conversation. And I'm not sure if we can have the room to wedge ourselves in there next to her either.
Well, it looks like we're going to try. We push our way into the middle of this conversation. I think this is going to have to be a green. It's a white to 99%.
Oh
We're
no,
not
that's so
close enough.
brutal. But
The
Legorve is
shot
having
comes
none
off
of it.
anyways.
Yeah, Legorve having none of it. Legorve with the flirt pairing and the mission tracking done perfectly. Um, yeah, even with the 99%, the shot comes off and Legorve takes the win.
Yeah, it's such a difficult position to be in there at the very end as Paratroopa. You know you need that flirt. You know that you can't really afford to wedge yourself in between Kane and Red Dress to try to pick up the close white. You push as far into the conversation circle as you possibly can to try to get as close to your seduction target before you fire off that flirt. And when you see 99 pop up on the screen, it's just not quite enough. We take the shot anyways. Legorve on top of that talk. Shooting for flirt, always extremely impressive to see when you're really, really confident on your mission count. But it feels bad always to see that 99 come up when you weren't just quite close enough.
Yep, very much so. But Legorve with yet another impressive sniper win, going into their spy side here as Seek.
It will be Seek. Let's see if they can pick up the first spy win of the set. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. And a quick trip to blue. We could try to yank a book out here. The party's pretty crowded over on the right-hand side with the ambassador and Toby. But no, we're going to play this book a little more respectful and go for it. Okay, and not so respectful. Go for an animation transfer. And I don't think that we saw that. I think we have a microfilm in pocket for free here to start off the game.
Yeah, I mean, based on the amount of between the housekeeping and Toby and the ambassador both being kind of vulnerable on the far side, I think we got away with that completely cleanly. Um, a lot of players just don't really watch the bookshelves all that carefully at the beginning of the game, just because there's so many other things that you have to keep track of in chaos time. And I think that was a really good choice. Wheels also just took a bug path on the way by and has picked up a highlight for his trouble. The party's giving us a lot of help here.
Yeah, speaking of the party giving us help, we take a drink and get a fingerprint off of it. We're far away from our seduction target here, but we have a microfilm in pocket, we have partial flirt, we have partial prints, we have a lot of partial mission progress, and that's going to allow us to react to what the party gives us going forward here. Our seduction target leaves. We're going to have to finish this drink off before we can make any more progress with our transfer, but we have plenty of time to do it with over 2 minutes to play.
Yeah, I really like the position that we're in. As you said, we have a lot of partial mission progress. And if you've ever heard me cast, as I say all the time, that steady mission progress is really the key to winning a spy for the vast majority of your games. And Legorve was showing that right here. Another flirt brings us up 86%. One more flirt from anywhere will finish that mission off. We still have banana bread in pocket as well, and the double agent is in this conversation circle with us too.
Yeah, I don't mind this contact. There are a couple of people out of conversation, but double agent will leave, so we will not fire it off. We finished our drink here. We could think about timer flirting this. We're already well into the cooldown at this point, so I'd say probably why not? But Legorve not agreeing, going to try to finish off the transfer mission here.
Right. And again, Toby and the ambassador on the far side of the venue. Para zooming in on the list after each person takes it, paying a lot of attention to that list. And maybe we're aware of that and feel like with all the attention being played elsewhere, we can just get away with this and not have any issues. Oh my god, we red test. We red test the microfilm and immediately walk away.
Yeah, we were not happy to take that red test. We simply cancel it, walk away. Um, as you were saying, both the ambassador and Toby were pretty vulnerable there. I don't think it was really seen by Paratroopa. I now we just need to casually walk back over to bookcase and just try it again.
Yeah, we have a little bit more cover as well from the party here, but the ambassador is over. So it's possible that we might get clocked a little bit more. Instead, we're not going to choose to take it there after all. We're just going to go into the conversation circle and try and finish up our flirt instead.
Yeah, time really ticking down here. 47 seconds. We finish flirt and instantly leave conversation. Now we're headed into green. We don't really have another chance at this. We're going to have to take this transfer. There it is. It's a white test. It's much more on screen this time. But no flick coming over from Paratroopa, so perhaps distracted there by Toby offering and in a pretty decent sized chain. But now down to 30 seconds. We still need one more print and a contact here. That's a lot to do in 30 seconds. 23 seconds now. We're staying in this conversation with the double agent. We can go for the contact here. The ambassador just puts down a statue. We can make this work. There's the
Banana
contact, but we're
bread.
requesting a drink instead. There's going to be overtime. There's the purloin. It's a white test. Paratroopa not zooming in on the list. We're in overtime. And the shot comes off, but it's not the right one. Paratroopa not on top of the last second purloin there. And we get away with a very, very late finish.
Yeah, I think Paratroopa was distracted. As I said, the party was very active and gave a lot for Paratroopa to watch. And at the end, Paratroopa had been zooming in on that list throughout much of the game, but there they just let it get away from him and just wasn't paying attention to it at the crucial moment, unfortunately.
Yep, so Legorve managing to break serve here with a very late rushdown of transfer and contact and purloin. But we talked about ballroom. Ballroom, sometimes it makes you feel like it's hard to get anything done. But if you're willing to commit to a rush and just do things, you can get a lot done on this venue very, very quickly, as we saw there.
Yep, definitely true. Ballroom, OP being one of the charter members of Team Do Stuff, loves Ballroom for that reason. And that was Legorve's pick. Legorve takes his own pick 3-1.
Yeah. Well, that will take us to our next venue, which will be Taeyen. Speaking of venues with high mission density, Taeyen has to be up there as well. It's a very closed-in venue, lots of mission sites in very close proximity to each other. And here, Paratroopa starting off as Orange Sari, a slow character, but on a venue where that may not be as much of a problem. Let's see what he does with it in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yep, we have an unfortunate shoji setup, with all three of them on the book side of the venue, which is too bad. You really want to have them alternating in some way, shape, or form. Especially, and generally players want the statues obscured in some way as well. But let's see what Paratroopa does with it here. We're starting things slow just in this innocent conversation, and we're not going to stay there very long. We're going to go wedge ourselves in next to Small Man. We're not. We bounced out instead. I think we were maybe blocked a little bit and instead end up across the conversation circle from him.
Yeah, this is definitely not the positioning we wanted, but it's what we will take, and we get a green test, so it's no problem. 38% here on the flirt. That's perfectly fine. Chance for a bug here probably against the ambassador if we want to take this path. It would be a very suspicious path, but I think we could probably hide the bug if we took it. Um, but instead, we're just sitting
Maybe,
here.
but this Taeyen, you'll find a lot of opportunities for a pretty good bug.
Yep, that's absolutely true. No chance for a purloin chain here. I have to imagine that we're just me rejecting this drink, and there it is. And Legorve just playing this very mechanically, it looks like. Watching Toby, watching the ambassador. We get kind of a bounce off the ambassador there, excuse me. No bug attempt comes off, but we pick up the highlight for it anyways, and we get another flirt there up to 72%.
That's really a bad sign. Based on that highlight, it sure seems like Legorve has credited the bug to us there, and we don't even have that mission done. So that could be a real problem moving forward, especially if we try to do anything else. I mean, we don't have any missions done, we already have a highlight. That's not a good situation you want to be in, for sure.
No, it looks like we're going to try to finish up our flirt here. Okay, looks like we're not going to finish up our flirt here. We're going to go to statues. and pick up a pair of inspects. And that's, as you said, some nice steady mission progress here. We don't want to have to leave all of our statue inspects for the very, very end. I don't know that we suspect that we're highlit at this point, but we pick up a fingerprint off of the statue as well. That's a lot of progress here, and the ambassador has been going around touching things. We could be planning to finish up with both inspects and fingerprint done, or leave inspects partially completed, which is also a nice position to be in as the spy.
I worry about going next to small man though. We were already gotten for it with the we were seen walking next to small man at the window and picked up the highlight there. So I would bet that this flirt pairing has been noticed as well. So this is all just evidence adding up in Legor's mind that we could in fact be the spy here.
Yeah, especially pairing someone with small men is very strong here on Tan. A lot of players, if they're not playing small men, will make their seduction target small men, just to make sure small men is not a member of the cast, since small men is such a threat on this venue. So if you're going to be flirt pairing someone, you're pairing them with small men, that's just a stronger flirt pair in your mind.
Yep, definitely. The double agent comes to us though. This looks like a pretty good contact. We should take this basically right now.
Yeah, there's almost no reason not to, but we're not going to do it. Instead, we're just walking over here to the statue to finish off inspects and I believe print. With 36 seconds left, though, we may have wished we had that contact. Laser flicks over to give us a road highlight, but we're already highlight. But we fail the fingerprint. It's difficult. That's unfortunate. Now down to 26 seconds. Only 2 missions done. No bug either. We wedge ourselves into this conversation with the SDA. That's not the person we want to contact. We're going to request a drink. We may have to take this pearl lane. We may just have no choice. There's the pearl lane. It is a green. We need one more mission to hang the clock. And we step into this conversation with the double agent. We're going to go for this contact. That will hang over time, but the shot looks like coming off immediately. Not even waiting for the pearl line to go off, given that bug credit. And that will be a sniper win there for Legorve.
Yeah, but think about it. If we had gotten that bug earlier and we had hit that difficult fingerprint, we could have been done. And Legorov not crediting all those things clearly, giving partial credit. I mean, obviously some suspicion, but not crediting all those missions being done.
Yeah, we saw this in a game on Ballroom as well, case where we could have been done with 2 green flirts, but Legorv shooting us for our 3rd flirt. You can't always, as the sniper, credit green, 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 green. It's kind of adds up in your mind to figure, okay, there's enough progress here that even if they missed one of those greens, they could still be done here. Now you need to take the shot.
Yep. Legorov, though, correctly sussing out what's going on with this party, um, picks up yet another sniper win, and suddenly is up 4-1 despite starting off 1-1 here.
Yeah, Paratroopa's going to have to bring it back here on the sniper side of Tayen. Tayen, not a venue where sniper side is as much of a lock as a lot of others, but look here, the Shoji setup. Once again, all the statues uncovered with an exact mirror on the Shoji side. So let's see
Yep.
how Legorve handles it in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Salmon not a very popular pick as spy a lot of the times, especially on Tan, where the added height makes him a little bit more visible. And Legorov's just hanging out here to start off. Our selection target is Kane in the far conversation. I would bet that we're gonna. Oh, Kane is instead maybe going to come to us instead.
You love to see it. That will be a quick flirt here for 34% on a white test, and you will take that any single day of the week here. We're going to go for a stop talk and reject this drink. And we're still standing here in conversation, 3 minutes to go. I would not be at all opposed to sitting here in timer flirting. We're close to our ST. We have no suspicion for being close to our ST. Probably makes sense to just take those.
Yeah, and the ambassador isn't really. The ambassador is really the main reason to leave and make plays here. The ambassador is just hanging out at books, not really giving us any reason. He's not in really a buggable position. He's not really leaving any other fingerprints besides this book. So maybe once the ambassador leaves and lands somewhere, then that'll be a reason for us to leave. But at this point, we may as well just take the timer flirt.
Yeah, hopefully Kane won't punish us for this, as the cooldown should be happening in the next 10 seconds or so. And in the meantime, the ambassador's been going back and forth to the same bookcase several times, just making sure there's a good print on there for us. There's the cooldown. Here comes the flirt. It's another white test for 68%. And now we can see Legorve looking around, trying to figure out where they want to go next. We do have a couple people that have been to statues. We could go for a fake contact here at some point if Boots gets into conversation. Unfortunately for us, the double agent is out. We'd probably want to wait for them to get in, but there they are. We could go for this fake contact. I wouldn't mind it at all.
No, I mean, if everybody in the party is in conversation, there's literally no reason not to. Everybody then will have credit for real. You're just increasing the chances for an AI getting shot. Unfortunately, Red Dress ruins it by bailing before the contact goes off, but even so, that you'll take that.
Yeah, definitely. That's a nice thing to have here on Tan. And it looks like we may as well just timer flirt this out, actually, if Kane stays here after that fake contact. No reason not to. But then we're going to be down to about a minute and a half. We're going to have to find 3 missions here, as flirt will be the only progress we have. But Boots has been extremely active. just going for a briefcase there as well, and walking back and forth in the same places in conversation. We have our flirt done. General picks up center inspects, and Tan really a place where he has to be watching the party. Although that fake contact puts a lot of that pressure off, as we know we've given everyone real that we possibly can.
I expected we might take the just wait there and hope that once General lands, we can pick up banana bread. But no, Legorve's going to go for this fingerprint instead that the ambassador has left here multiple times for us, very helpfully. I would be very surprised to see any sort of microfilm shenanigans again. And yeah, we just put the book back, but we're down under a minute. Ambassador's leaving another print on that statue there, but it's going to be pretty obvious. We don't really have time to let that one cook either.
Yeah, we're gonna have to take a contact here, unfortunately, with Smallman, and it's not gonna be as good as the previous one with not as many people in conversation. Green Dress just joined us here. We're gonna go for a green purloin. That will help a lot, but we're not gonna take the contact. Not willing to give up any lowlights here. We're gonna step into statues instead. Pick up, it looks like a pair of inspects and a fingerprint. That'll be fingerprints done. All of a sudden, we're very close to mission win, but we really don't have that much time. 26 seconds now. We're gonna have to quickly go back to statues here if we want to finish that mission. Instead of moving into this conversation here, maybe hoping that the double agent joins. If so, we're betting a lot on that. The purloin has already happened. We are a highlight here. 10 seconds left. The double agent not cooperating, just going window pad to window pad. That's not what we need. We have to go for this chaos bug. The bug lands, but the shot comes off on Tex. Excuse me, the shot comes off onto Boots.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Paratroopa staring Boots down quite a bit earlier. I'm not sure what exactly she had done, but I think she had been to statues and had a lot of other things done, and clearly being tunneled a little bit there. I don't know what happens there if the overtime ticks down and we actually get the overtime beeps, but that last bug was actually very, very well done, but it didn't even matter.
That shot was so close to hitting Tex, actually, the ambassador. A couple of really risky shots, in fact, taken so far in this set, very close to other players' heads. Yeah, and a shame that we're not able to wait just a couple more seconds and see that bug bounce off the ambassador there. Legorve ends up staring Paratroopa down through the sniper scope, saying, "Nope, I just bugged."
All right. Well, yeah, Legorov gets away with that. Some speculation that maybe it was the Purloin catch was just late, and it was credited to Boots there, which I guess would make some sense. But the tray was shown very clearly to Paratroopa Sniper multiple times before the shot came off. So hard to say.
Yeah, well, now Legorov with 5 points here. One more win will be a point in the SCL standings. But as we mentioned here, that's really not enough. Legorov needs an outright win. So they're going to be looking for at least 2 more points in this set. Their first will be on the sniper side here with Paratroopa as Orange Sari once again. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, and if Paratroopa, for his part, wants to bring this back,
Oh,
it really needs
that
to start
I
out.
can't believe it doesn't land. We
No, the
bounce up
arm was really sticking into
chaos,
Taft the whole way.
and it just doesn't take. We're just slightly too far away at the moment of arm extension. We were so close for almost the entire animation. That's a real shame there. We pick up the highlight for the statue inspect. I'm not sure if the bug is suspected as part of that highlight or not. But that's a real shame for Paratroopa with such a good opportunity for that bug and having it not quite land. Here's another bug. The arm snapback, not visible, but this conversation entry extremely suspicious.
Yeah, if we weren't credited with a bug before, we certainly are now. And Paratroopa kind of just saying, you know what, I can't believe that bug didn't take. I'm doing it now. I don't care. Um, Meanwhile, we have a lot of partial mission progress as well. As you said, we picked up the 2 inspects. We picked up a far flirt from across the statue pads there as well. So, aside from being a highlight here and probably being credited with that bug, we're not in the worst shape. The question is really just how strong. And Red Dress just refuses to land. Finally, she bounces back into the conversation near us, and we'll pick up this flirt now. But as I was saying, I'm just not sure how much credit we were given for that bug in either situation.
That conversation entry, I think, from Red Dress is so interesting. The bugs trying to get in are very spy-like, but then just giving up and pathing through the circle, I feel like is very AI-like. Most spies, when they're trying to enter a conversation, they really don't have room. They're not going to be willing to just walk through the center of the circle. That feels like something that an AI wouldn't do. But in this case, when it is, that to me as a sniper takes a lot of suspicion off of that character. It's unfortunate for us if that's the case, as Red Dress was at statues with us in his highlight.
That's true, yeah. And really, the party hasn't been going to statues very much at all. I think
Banana
it's just been
bread.
us and Red Dress so far. Here comes the banana bread, and immediately a low light coming off on Red Dress, who I believe was sipping during it. That's a lot of credit for the non-banana bread drink. We pick up a... Wow, okay.
Yeah, we go for the briefcase there in that conversation. Legorve deciding that's not acceptable.
No,
Whether that's
we were
simply because
talking. We talked after we picked it up.
oh yeah, you can't do that. The action priorities when you're holding a briefcase and you're standing in a conversation circle can be extremely treacherous. That briefcase pickup, perhaps not intended, maybe trying to put it back down, hits the talk instead, and that is more than enough for Legorve to take a shot after an extremely visible briefcase pickup. Although the shot seems to come off almost instantly, I'm not sure if Legorve even saw the talk when it happened.
No, I think the ambassador may have been too close for that pickup as well. There are any number of things that could have been the reason for that, or just the added up suspicion of, the multiple bugs, the statue, the conversation entries, etc.
All right, well, that will be Legorve's sixth point here as we step into what I believe is our final game of Teyen with Legorve on the spy side as Mom. Let's get into it and see if they can pick up point number 7 in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
It's worth noting that Legorov has already secured his second undefeated season in a row, which is insane by any metric. Everyone has said that Legorov was the handy favorite to win Copper this season based off the strength of uh, their Oak season last year. But even so, I mean, win, lose, or tie, or I guess either now the
It's a
options are win or
swap.
tie.
A swap comes
Wow.
off here. It's an ignored action test. And no one has been to the statue except for us. We went there right when the game started. Legorve maybe just challenging Paratroopa to see if he has memorized the statues here. The ignored action test, I'm not sure what the thinking is there, just really wanting a white, not wanting that statue to be pending, not wanting to give Paratroopa a chance to memorize it. But we have swap done here on Teyen with the Shoji finally covering up statues for us. And that is a strong start here from Legorve if Paratroopa is not sure what that statue was. We are highlighted for the statue visit, but the swap may not be noticed at this point as we join conversation with our seduction target and the double agent. Legorve in a potential position to try to rush this game down.
Maybe, but that's such a risky play. Um, and look at the laser flicking to us over immediately as we do the white banana bread. No lowlights coming off.
Banana
Let's see
bread.
what. Yeah, here it comes. It comes off now. Here come the lowlights. We immediately break, and the safety comes off on us immediately. We're suspected for that swap. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think at this point this is going to be extremely challenging for Legorve to finish here. We do have 34% on the flirt. We do have the contact. We do have the swap. Legorve nodding, very happy with this setup, but I think he probably has a lot more heat than he suspects. Maybe thinking, hey, I'm not dead. That swap can't possibly have been seen. But I suspect if we try to go for any other kind of mission, any other statue visit, if there's a purloin and we're anywhere near Toby at any point, it's going to be a bullet for us.
Yeah, I think Legorov is probably dead mom walking here, which is too bad, really. I like the bold play of going for the early swap. Legorov saying in chat as well that just an early action test that he missed and then just decided to let it run. So fair enough.
All right, well, we're here with the ambassador at Blue Books. I don't think we're going to get the print off of here. We waited as long as we possibly could, but the ambassador is not putting the book back. No fingerprint for us. We do take this book away, not going for the briefcase either. We enter this conversation. Our seduction target joins us. Legorve happy about that. We're going to go ahead and take this flirt. There it is. It will be a white test up to 63%. We need a green to finish. Minute 12 left on the clock. We have this book in our hands. We could try to transfer it here. I don't think that's going to work out for us, unfortunately, given the amount of suspicion that we have. And the ambassador back at Blue Bookcase again. No way for us to get that print, unfortunately. So print's probably out at this point. We're sitting here. It looks like we're maybe just trying to timer flirt this down with the green. But no, we're going to leave here. Are we going to go for the bug? We are not. The ambassador leaves. We have to put this book back into blue. No animation transfer possible here given the lack of cover. The book will go back. We're not going to get this briefcase either as Cowboy takes it from us, the double agent. Down to 40 seconds now. And we're not putting the book back. It has to go in now. There it goes. How do we finish this off in the last 30 seconds?
I think the only options are the flirt and then hope for a really, really strong bug. I mean, I don't see how you can possibly go do finish statues. I don't see how you can. I mean, we don't have time to finish fingerprints. I feel like any purloin is gonna be really, really watched. But here we go. We're gonna green test it anyway, and that's the attempt. That's our last mission. So this is the real test. How on top of things is Paratroopa?
Offers
I'm not.
Stallman takes. We walk in front of Toby. Paratroopa having none of it. Yeah, the list, the tray extremely visible there as it's being offered to Smallman, not covered by the Shoji or anything at all. List visible. And I don't know if that was an attempt from Legorve maybe to walk in front of the tray or something like that to try to block Para's vision. If so, that's a creative play for sure. But it's not quite at the right timing. I suspect there would have been so much time for us to find the list, find the tray, and find the shot onto Mom. That's a win there from Paratroopa, starting to bring the set back.
Yep. Uh, yeah, Paratroopa in a do or die situation at this point, needing to reverse sweep this all the rest of the way.
We're heading into a venue where that can be a little difficult to do. It will be Library 5 of 8, traditionally a very sniper favored map, one where both of these players have had some significant success. Paratroopa has won 100% of their library sniper games up to this point, as has Legorve. So both of these players, no stranger to this venue. Paratroopa now on the spy side as general. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Worth noting that Legorve just has a 100% win rate on library, period,
Oh, there's
regardless
the
of
bug.
side. Yep, that's a really strong start. You'll take that any day. No highlight picked up for it either. So I'm not sure if we're suspected for it or if Legorve is simply saving his Nope, highlights are coming off on other people. I think we got that bug away free.
Yeah, we're right here behind the pillar as well. It's hard to even see that we're anywhere in the vicinity. So, okay, you
Yeah.
have a bug here very early on library. Um, that's one mission out of 5. So you're now sort of playing library 4 of 8. What is Paratroopa thinking here in terms of next steps?
Looks like going for this briefcase and fingerprint having partial fingerprint mission progress also a really good choice. It's definitely one of the better ones to finish on library as it's not nearly as visible as other things. We're walking all the way down to the ambassador here and stop as the ambassador walks away. I think that's correct. We pick up a highlight for it
Kill
anyway.
it. Legorv not happy with that briefcase. And now we stop again as the ambassador bounces. And now we finally go for the return. Legorv highlighting us, I think, for that, something in that briefcase return that he's really not happy with. And that's unfortunate for us picking up that highlight. We really don't want that, especially since prints, often a mission, especially this early in the game, you could spread your second print out, be like 2.5 minutes later, and maybe the sniper forgets that you had a print, but picking up a highlight for that briefcase return suggests that print will not be forgotten.
No, certainly not. We finish our flirt though, meanwhile. So, all things considered, depending on how much suspicion we have, this is a really good situation to be in for Paratroopa. With 3 minutes left, we have flirt done, bug done already, half a fingerprint, and just need 2.5 missions left to go, and including some very easy ones left available to us in inspect and contact.
We go to this yellow briefcase. We're setting up an obligatory briefcase take for when we put this book back. But no, we got a fingerprint off of this book. Actually, no need to take this briefcase. Unfortunately, as I said, we may be obligated. Ambassador's pretty close though, so maybe not. And the book goes back in. That's 2 missions done. We just need inspects, and it will be center statues immediately, trying to
Inspect
close the
swap.
round very early.
I feel an inspect swap finish coming here.
There's
One
the
foot down.
swap.
Yep, there's the swap. Here, we need 2 more inspects. Is Legorv going to check it? Legorv is staring us down. The
No,
laser swings
we
away.
don't get the inspects. We
Oh
only have
no,
2 inspects here,
this
and
is terrible. And the
the swap
shot
comes off
comes.
regardless.
That's so unfortunate. I mean, I think we were dead either way, but that's just such a bad feeling for Paratroopa.
Yeah, just not quite able to get the action tests we needed to 2-cycle this statue visit. It was a white inspect, a white swap, and a white inspect. And after those 2 white inspects, actually getting 3 inspects on 2 cycles here already is not totally free. You have to really do your action priorities quickly, and getting 1 green there helps a lot. Having to do a swap there at the same time, Paratroopa decides that he really can't get away with a 3rd cycle, has to put the statue back with only 2 inspects. We're not in mission win countdown. The swap is seen regardless, and Legorve takes the shot and the set and the division.
Yeah, Legorv squeaking out the division win, but as we talked about, second undefeated season in a row, just dominant play really the whole way from start to finish. And I'm not sure what he's going to pick as far as tournament of position or the auto promote to bronze, but either way, his next opponents, regardless of when they are or where they are on no